Shabbat Shalom, Saints. Shabbat Shalom. Dealing with some issues over here on my end, man. You know what? The hell with it. The hell with it. You feel me? So we gotta we just gotta keep it pushing, man. I'm on the time schedule today, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why I was shy. Don't have time to be dealing with Satan and this foolishness, man. Having some technical issues on my end, but hopefully we got everything situated to where we can just go ahead on and do our thing. Um, this evening, man. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully everybody's well, man. It's a blessed day of the Lord. Uh, Welcome everybody in. DSTM number 161. All right, don't shoot the messenger, man. 161. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why you man. Make sure you wipe your feet when you come on in, man. Show some honor, show some respect, man. Show that you was raised right. All right, simple. Hit the like button, man. We got to get these algorithms kicked in, man. Kick them in the ass. Let them know we in the house. Right? Bayan Shakar. Hey, Shalom. What's going on, bro? Kohav, Shalom to you, my good brother. You guys, Shalom. We got to get to it, man. We got to get to it, man. Let the late stragglers come on in. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm on a time schedule today, so we got to push it. We got to push it and get through this, man. I don't mean to rush y'all, but duty calls. Duty calls. You feel me? All right, man. Hopefully everybody's solid, man. Jackson, Shalom to you, brother. Let me throw the scroll off, man. We're gonna get right to the business at hand. Let me share my screen. Let me get this cracking, man. Y'all know I'm not even doing no big old filibustering, introductions, big time talks, none of that. We're getting right to the business, man. Right to the business. As y'all know, man, the hot topic has been Kanye, Kyrie. Kyrie is taking the spotlight more than Kanye at this point. I'm not going to delve too much in it. I spoke on it already this week. But one of the things that we do see, and I mentioned it, I believe, on the Feed the Lions episode, that they're doing an open lynching and butt breaking of Kyrie Irving. I mean, virtually, you got all of the damn, Israelite stooges out there, man. The Stephen from Django's, the Uncle Tom's, you remember that movie Life? If y'all remember Life, man, put a 7 in the chat. Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. Remember that movie? And y'all remember the little overseer cat that was running around repeating everything that the damn white man said? Remember him? That's exactly what's going on. Let me shrink it. That's exactly what's going on right now. You're hearing all this parroting conversations, all of our own people, man, out there running to lynch him. If you notice, man, the conversation has already been shifted off of what was said about George Floyd. Let's just say, for instance, Kanye's situation, what he said in regards to the George Floyd situation, I don't agree with that. That was off. But at the same time, was it completely off? Did he have fentanyl in his system? According to the coroner's report, he did. Okay. I don't think anybody's going to dispute the fact that George Floyd probably was out on his luck and was dabbling in some drugs. Okay. So Kanye wasn't off by saying, he was off by saying it wasn't a knee to the neck that killed him. He was off by, and he came out and he apologized for that. So accept that apology and let's move on. Right? So he apologized to our community. Now, you don't see them constantly going out there still lynching him over those comments. He's not being lynched over the comments that he made in regards to Black death and aborted babies being one of the highest killers of our community. Nobody's even addressing any of those instances, right? Kyrie made a post in regards to him talking about him searching for truth, searching for answers. And a simple Google search. I mean, is anybody canceling Google because they're making these searches available? I seen one of the brothers on ESPN, Jason Williams. He made a good point. And he said, I know what Kyrie said is egregious, is wrong, blah, blah, blah. But how come nobody's going to Amazon for promoting this film? They're making money off of the sale of this film. And I'm sure Hebrews to Negroes, the sales and probably went up by now because of the curiosity of the people saying, what exactly is this? It got exposed through his tweet. I'm not, or his tweet. I don't know if he did it on Twitter or Instagram, whatever. I'm not subscribed to Kyrie Irving. I don't follow him. But guess what? I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's millions of people who never follow and never would have seen this post. But let the media go out there, and that's the will of the Most High. Let the media go out there and pump all this up about this film. And now, guess what? The ones who aren't subscribed to him, aren't following him, don't even know who Kyrie is because they don't follow basketball. Now they're going to go find out what's up with this film. What's the hype about? And now, guess what? More Israel's going to wake up. All praise, honor, glory to the Most High. You see how the Most High does them Jedi mind tricks? Back in the day, we used to call them Judite mind tricks. But you see what ends up happening, right? So you get Charles Barkley, again, Jason Williams, who else? Shaq, a number of different celebrities. Everybody coming out against all these basketball guys coming out against Kyrie, man. As if, these guys' opinions matter. As if they're scholars in their own right and should be debunking information. Nobody's debunking the information. Nobody's even addressing it. But they're just talking about, oh, this is anti-Semitic. Oh, Kyrie shouldn't have even posted this. How dare he? Well, where did he find it? How did he get access to it? He said, man, it's 2022. There's no excuse for not knowing. I'm trying to find. And the one reason why they're still riding on him is because he has not came out and gave a bold-faced apology, a bootlicking apology to the GMO small hatch. They want him to come out and say, I'm very sorry for my anti-Semitic comments. It was ignorant. I shouldn't have said it. I'm not an anti-Semite. I love the Jewish people. I embrace y'all. But they want him to say that. You guys are the chosen people. I was off. I was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I was hot. They want him to give any excuse. And he's saying, I'm not doing that. I stand firm on my beliefs and my research. I can't be an anti-Semite because I am a Semite. What's so hard about that? And why can't they just accept that? They won't. They won't. So we know now Kyrie came out and apologized for making this insensitive post. Here we go. Oh, let me go back and share. They won't do that. Here we go. They won't do that. So finally, when I first said, I said, oh, man, Kyrie done got buck broke, man. He done bowed down. He done bowed down, gave it up. See? And it says Kyrie Irving apologizes after Nets suspend him for refusing to disavow anti-Semitism. So they said, the fact that you still will not say that you're not, the fact that you will own up and say you're anti-Semitic, you got to get suspended. He already apologized. He already gave $500,000. That means that means there's no winning with these people, man. There is no winning with these people. You can't negotiate with the beast. Lesson learned, Kyrie. After he apologized, after he gave it the 500,000 racks, then they came back and suspended him another 5 games without pay. Then they came and suspended him after that. So apologizing isn't enough. You got to get lynched, hung, and burned just for even saying it. Let me get Psalms 120. Psalms 120. We're going to read 6 and 7. Look at this. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. So here we are trying to be cool, trying to play by the rules, trying to be nice, trying to acknowledge and assimilate into the system, trying to be loved, trying to be accepted. We're long dwelling with them that hate peace, man. The so-called white man loves war. Look at the history of America. We've covered this. America's only had between 15 and 17 years of peace since its so-called birth in 1776. 16 to 17 years, and that's scattered. That's not consistent. White man loves war, man. He loves to be an antagonist. He loves problems. This is why there's an open lynching, butt breaking, and dragging of these brothers in public. These brothers come out, they apologize, they submit to the damn pressure, and then what? You still get kicked in the ass, man. He still says that's not enough. I want more. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. Reading verse 7, I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. So he said, look, peace, man. I'm sorry. I apologize for making this a sensitive post, that had information in there that I didn't, fully fact check. And some of it is false, which I agree with. Everything that's in that documentary and book, from what I hear, I'm only speaking from a witness from those who have seen it. And they said, man, it's not 100% true. I wouldn't agree with everything that says. I know the brother Ron Dalton. I don't know him, personally, but I know in particular some of his doctrine is, Negro only, and everything is rooted in Africa, so forth and so on, to my knowledge. But that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is that he's teaching the truth, and he's exposing the lies, and he's acknowledging to our people who we are according to the word of the Lord, and exposing history, DNA, and so forth and so on that links us to being Israelites. That I agree with, that I co-sign, that I'm with. The other things, that's something else. So when it's true, it's true. When it's not, it's not. But Kyrie says, hey, you know what? I may not agree with everything. I don't. And he had to be, him and both Kyrie. I don't stand behind anybody who's a hate grouping, because they seen that the narrative was getting pushed into, oh, they're associated with those crazy guys on the corner. This is the same rhetoric that the black Hebrew Israelites be talking. Are you with them? And now it's no, I'm not. I'm just doing my own independent research. Calm down. I apologize. I posted something that maybe I didn't take into account, may hurt somebody's feelings. I could see if he posted it and said, man, check this out. Explosive information, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even advertise. He posted the damn picture, a thumbnail that cost him $500,000 in a charitable donation, which, Kyrie knows what he's doing, man. That's a tax write-off right before the end of the year. So he's not tripping off of that. 500,000, right? Okay. Hit my account, man. Write that off. You feel me? That's why I'm not really tripping off of that too much. But damn, 500,000 is still a lot, man. And the GMO small hats came up, and they got another 500,000 from the team. But then they suspended him 5 games without pay. You know how much money that I think he probably makes? Damn near $100,000+ per game. I'm not even gonna look into his contracts and all of that, but I'm pretty sure Kyrie's making damn near $30-40 million a year. You break that down over 82 games, do the math. That's pretty much what he's making per game. So they suspended him 5 games without pay. But he said, I'm for peace, but when I speak, when I say I apologize, blah, 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 they want more. More war, more lynching, more hangings. They got all the damn niggas on the damn TV going for him. All who knows? Ex-colleagues. I'm not going to say ex-teammates, because most of these guys are all retired, been out the game for 15, 20 years. Commentators that never played before. They're all coming for him. And they utilize and let our own people take part in the lynching and the burning, the virtual burnings, the audio and digital burnings of their own, rather than just kind of staying out the mix. The only one I heard say anything slight of defending Kyrie was Jason Williams, which he said, hey, I get it. I talked to my Jewish friends. Yeah, it was insensitive, blah, blah, blah. But hey, how come nobody's going after Amazon? Amazon is the one peddling this film. Amazon is the one selling it and profiteering off of it. How come nobody's after that? How come Google hasn't banned the Google search? For them, you feel what I'm saying? Like that makes more logical sense. Go after the big dogs who got real power. No, can't do that. Can't do that. Let me think of another. Let me go over here. Psalms 109. It doesn't pay, man, to try to kiss these people's boots, man, and lick they. You know what I'm talking about. Doesn't pay, man, because they still gonna come for your head. They not satisfied until they get blood, man. Psalms 109:5, it says, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. See what happens, man, when you deal with the wicked and your adversary. See this, for my love, they are my adversary, and I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. Look at it. Here he is trying to. Kyrie Irving apologizes. Now, why can't they just bury that and say, okay, you know what? It is what it is, man. He apologized. Let's take the boot off his neck. He gave 500 racks. We suspended him. We took him 5 games without pay. Let's lay off of him. It's enough. No, after he does all that, then he's suspended. And they already labeled. See, if y'all didn't see y'all didn't catch the I didn't see the article about feed the lions, right? I pulled this out, right? Is this the? Nah, this ain't. This is another one that they posted up. This ain't the original. Where's the one at with the other guy? Yeah, what kind of phone it? See, look at it. They came at them. Nike done cut him. See that? What they do to Kanye? Kyrie Irving loses his Nike partnership after net suspension. They want blood, man. He done already came out and apologized for the post. But they said, but you still didn't do enough to kiss the ring, man. Stop saying you're a Semite. Stop saying you're an Israelite. Stop saying that you got a connection with the Bible. Stop saying you're the original people. Stop standing on all this false narratives that them niggas on the corner be yelling. Then we'll accept it. You got to completely erase history. You got to completely erase fact-checking, responsible scholarship. You got to get rid of all of that and follow the lie. That's what they want them to do. Same thing they did with Kanye. What they do? Oh, Gap got to get rid of him. Adidas got to get rid of him. And I know there's a big sweeping, statement by brothers and sisters, man. Hey, we got to boycott Nike, boycott. But the same ones we talking about protesting out in the streets is fruitless. I mean, the reality is I don't have no problem with brothers and sisters, man. Say, man, the hell with Nike. Cool, I'm with you. I haven't bought Nikes in years. I have Nikes, but I haven't bought any in years. But the end all be all is, listen, I forgot the brother that said it, man, but he said, when you protest, it only shows you don't have power. When you have power, you can negotiate. We don't have that power. I mean, these guys, man, Kanye was a multi-billionaire. You would think that equates power. You would think that his voice would be able to shift the narrative in any circumstance. It didn't. At the end all be all, man, Deuteronomy 28:48 and all the rest of the curses, man, kicked in. It only shows you, man, it doesn't matter who, where, what, when, and what status you are in this system, you were still a nigga, man, and you were still subject to higher powers. Okay? So he got hit by the... See, I was just seeing the article. Here we go. Now, why did I do this? Because look at this. This is what I wanted to see. Hours before another Brooklyn Nets loss, noted free thinker. I covered this on Thursday. We all understand and know what that means. You cannot be a free thinker in this beast system. You can't be a free thinker here in Babylon. You cannot be a free thinker and have any power or influence over people. You cannot. You have to be controlled. You have to make sure that you've got controlled opposition. The white man sets it all up, man. You can't be a free thinker. They're letting you know you're subject to bondage even in your thoughts, man. Follow after the narrative, the protocols of the cell, the protocols of the imprisonment. Do you understand? Did I finish reading this? Yeah. So they rewarded me evil for good and hatred for my love. So now he gets hit upside the head with more evil. He gets hit up the side. You can't apologize, man, without getting hit upside the head. And they still ain't satisfied with that. They want more. And I told bro, don't let the next season, fall out, and they don't make the playoffs or whatever. Guess who's gonna get the blame? Oh, Kyrie's gonna get the blame. It's because of him. They already did it last year when he didn't take the jab. See, because of Kyrie, they still made the playoffs. They still was in there playing, and they still lost. Was that because of Kyrie? I can see if they didn't make the playoffs. Oh, it's because he wasn't here half of the games. And then they double back and changed all the damn rules to show that he was right for not doing what he did. I mean, how foolish is that, man? They drugged that man through the mud, man. What was that? Hold on. Yeah, verse 48. They've drugged him through the mud, and they're gonna do it again if they don't trade him. Kyrie's a troublemaker. He's a free thinker, man. We need him in the cell blocks of our doctrine, our knowledge, our wisdom, our religion, our history. He starts thinking outside the box, man. He's dangerous. We should know by now, man, the system does not support free thought. That's what you have in 1984, the thought police and the Ministry of Truth, where everything is monitored. I did a little DSTM on Wednesday regarding the FBI getting busted for having backdoor access into everybody's accounts through Facebook and Twitter. And the social media companies are all in cahoots and said, we're going to be on board and we got to get more comfortable with government. That's where we headed, man. You talking New World Order stuff? We're here. Big brother, we're here. Stop wondering, when's it going to happen? It's already here, man. You got to look. 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and want of all things. So we know we got to go to our enemy in everything. Food, clothing, shelter, you name it. We got to go to him. There is no such thing as black on this, that, and the third. Kanye came out and said, I can say what I want. Adidas can't cancel me. Nigga, you see what happened to you. You got canceled. And now you run around talking about how God humbled you because you was out bragging about how you was the richest black man. Yeah, God humbled you to the curses, man. I told you, bro, you not nobody here, less you thought you was. Okay, and it says, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until they have destroyed thee. So we know physical yokes aren't being utilized anymore, aren't necessary anymore, around the neck, around the arms, hands, wrists, feet. Unless you're shackled in prison and on a chain gang, that's not happening no more. But where's the yokes? Right up here in our minds. And that's why they're talking about free thought. If you're not free, you're in captivity. Make sense? Okay. So, following a week-long saga that saw interventions from the Anti-Defamation League and the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, a known GMO small hat. Yeah, now you see why they had to roll on him. Charles Barkley was talking about he needed to be suspended for, I forgot how long he said, but I mean, come on, man. You talking about a dude who had, Charles Barkley got all kind of issues behind him. For when he was playing, being a drunkard, threw some Edomite out a window. In Phoenix, he got busted trying to pick up some prostitute at a stop sign. And the fat Negro still working. Let's not go down that line of his issues. And him talking about how somebody should be suspended. Shaq riding the wave. He's running around talking about all his infidelities and all kind of matters he was involved in. There's, things that happened over here in the streets in LA that he was involved in, that his name was floating around. That involved kidnaps and murders and all kind of stuff. That he, got up out of. Not saying he was involved, but his name was used in some of these nefarious plots because he was friends with a gang out here, or getting extorted, or had a relationship with some cats out here when he was in LA. But here they are, authorities talking about what should be happening or shouldn't be happening to somebody. When it comes down to historical research, these niggas ain't even looking. They ain't even researched. Half of them ain't even seen the movie, ain't seen the documentary, ain't opened a Bible. Who knows when the last time they opened up a book? But here they are, want to be authority about saying what somebody should and shouldn't be saying in regards to historical narratives and facts. I digress. The Brooklyn Nets suspended Kyrie Irving for at least 5 games without pay on Thursday, deeming the All-Star guard currently unfit to be associated. So I guess they figure 5 games, he should be back ready to play again. No, it's because they don't want to go that long without having, they star player playing. He's unfit to be associated. So in other words, what are you saying? He's mentally unfit? It's not that he's not physically unfit. Physically, he's fit as hell. You're talking about one of the top athletes in the world, let alone in his sport. Currently unfit to be associated, meaning he's not mentally fit. He's still free thinking. He's still out here trying to be independent in his thought patterns. He's not in bondage of the beast when it comes down to his thinking. We need him to submit, and we're going to give you 5 days to get it together, Kyrie, or else. With the organization following his repeated refusals to apologize for a social media post about an anti-Semitic film and book, Irving, who agreed Wednesday to donate $500,000 to support anti-hate causes. Listen, if he gave $500,000 to support anti-hate. Why should he still have to apologize for a quote-unquote anti-Semitic film and book? He just got through saying, I don't support hate. Here's $500,000. Now leave me alone. They said, no. The GMO small hats aren't happy with that. They want more. And calls his partnership with the ADL and said he took responsibility. That's still not enough for the post, but did not apologize when he met with the reporters Thursday afternoon. Because the Thursday afternoon, the reporters keep grilling him about off-the-court issues when it's supposed to be about on-the-court issues. You're there to report about the game. These are sports reporters. It's not international news and, local news coverage, people coming out to every basketball game. That's why they have separate reporters for different topics. Sports reporters are supposed to report on sports. But here they are, want to get off of sports and say, Kyrie, do you want to apologize? Kyrie, who's that doesn't sense it? Kyrie, what do you say? Kyrie, are you with this? And he's like, look, leave me alone. I said what I said. He explained how he came to the search, how he found the information, what made him look at it. He said, hey, maybe I should have been clear about what I did and didn't agree with, or maybe I should have, vetted that much. But hey, all I did was post a damn meme or a poster, and y'all trying to crucify me. If you post every damn time something that somebody doesn't agree with, so let's use this as an example. How many lynchings and hangings and burnings are there posted on Google Images you can find, right? Let's just say a so-called white man posts that on his social media. You think he's going to get all the hate and everything else that comes along with it? He doesn't say nothing. He just posted. Anybody that comes at him and says, hey, why did you post this? And he says, well, this is historical. This happened. Yeah, but are you going to disavow it? Are you going to stand against it? Well, how can I disavow history? This happened. What do you want me to do? I'm just posting it showing that this happened. Yeah, but you need to disavow it. And and you're fired. Are they going to do him like that? That's essentially what Kyrie did. Until the white man, in the scenario, the white man comes out and says, oh, I see what you're saying. You're thinking I'm promoting this. Actually, maybe I should have said this was wrong and then posted it. Then that would have been clear. But does it take away from the fact that this is historically accurate that happened to the so-called black man? Does it take away from the fact that, I was doing a search in regards to the atrocities that happened to the black people here in America, and this is what I found, and here I am posting these things because I found it interesting? that they went through this? I mean, he's got to go through all of that. Twitter only has, what, 140 characters? Can you put all that in the damn tweet? No. This is how foolish this is. But anyway, he said he took responsibility. Over the last several days, we made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving and help him understand the harm and the danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. Whatever. Okay. Now they said, we believe that taking the path of education in this challenging situation, he's taking the path of education. He's educating himself about his history, about his heritage, about his people. But it's not the right education, Kyrie. And you don't see that? No, you got to listen to their education, man. His story. His story. You know that. They said, we believe that taking the path of education in this challenging situation will be the right one, and that we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicating hate and intolerance. Hate and intolerance, man. And our people is still getting domestically terrorized by the police. Our people are still being discriminated against in the workplace. We still got Karens running around harassing our people. And they're talking about eradicating hate and intolerance, man. I had enough of this. Okay? I had enough of this folly, man. Let me hold on. Maybe there's one more scripture I'm gonna bring out, and this is the problem too. So he's gotten hate. He's gotten hate for him trying to do good. I'm trying to make it right, y'all. I'm trying to do right. Leave me alone. They like, no, nigga, you're not wrong. We ain't seen enough. We want more. Okay, so look at this. Isaiah 30. This is what happens when our people get caught up following after the system and the ways. Verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So we see historically that our people was always trying to cover up, similar to Adam and Eve, adding sin to sin, right? Claiming that they're doing things in the name of the Most High, claiming that they're doing things in righteousness, following after their own ways, their own means, so that they continue on in sin and their evils, following the folly days and their own diet plans, and all those things that we know about, right? Verse 2, it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So to continually trust in the system, to continually think that this place is going to actually get better, that you can go out there and you can apologize and you can pay fines and that you'll still be embraced and loved, man. The white man's still going to love you niggas. If you seen the little GMO small hats, man, at one of the games, they came out with t-shirts sitting in the front row, all in unison, wearing shirts saying stop anti-Semitism, trying to antagonize Kyrie. None of them researching and seeing what he said was true or what wasn't true. Again, the key word, the dog whistle, you blow it activates it, everybody just jumps up, running to the defense of them people, man. But you can't strengthen yourself in the shadow of Egypt, man. These people are not going to embrace and love you and accept you. It's not going to happen, man. You can't negotiate with the beast. You don't have the power to do so. That's why our people run out and protest and riot and throw bottles and break windows and loot. Because you're powerless. We're powerless. So what do? We try to take power. We try to take what we want. And all that stuff ends up being temporal. Reading verse 3, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. That's why Kyrie's confused. Kanye's confused. Because they still think that here in America, there is a system that will still embrace them. There's a system that they can go ahead on and still make amends for. You can still abide by their rules and still find freedom. The brothers is learning the hard way right now that that's not the case. And it's not going down like that. Right? Let's move on. Look at this real quick. Like I said, they run this narrative as if the Shemites equals the Jewish people. If you're saying a Shemite, oh, that's just the Jews. Do we see the whole bloodline of Shem? Shem had 5 sons. 5 sons, all considered Shemites, Shemitic people. I'm talking to the ones who don't know, the ones who haven't figured this out yet. I'm talking to the ones who still researching. I'm talking to the ones who, are stopping in and saying, hey, I wonder what these Israelites are talking about. And you just happen to find this channel. What's Kyrie talking about? He's not anti-Semitic. What's Kanye talking about? He's not anti-Semitic because he's a Semite. Pay attention then. Shem. This is what they talking about, Shemitic. The bloodline of Shem, the son of Noah. He had 5 sons. The chosen son was Arphaxad. Through his bloodline, we get the Eber. Eber is the Hebrew, Ibar. These are the people of the chosen, right? Then Peleg, and they go down. You get to Terah. Terah had Abraham. Abraham had 2 sons, Nahor and Haran. Through Abraham, you get Isaac, Jacob, and then the Israelites. That's how it all slides down. Here you also see other Hebrews, the Moabites, the Ammonites, even the Edomites and the Ishmaelites. All are Hebrews. And they're all Shemitic peoples. Do you understand? What they're saying, what we're saying is we're Shemitic from this bloodline, the chosen, the covenantal people from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the Israelites. The GMO small hats say, that's them. No. You're not here. You're over here. And you're not part of the covenantal people. That's what we're saying. You can't say that that's anti-Semitic. Not if we're both coming from the same bloodline. Look. If they say, look at this. Now, we know that they say they all admit and abide by saying they're Ashkenazi Jews that come from Poland and Russia and, Eastern Europe and all of that, right? The sons of Japhet, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras. Now, first son, the sons of Gomer were who? Ashkenaz. So, if they hold on to this line, that means they come from Japhet. They don't come from Shem. Whoops. That don't match either. I digress. So a simple genealogy of Shem will let us know who and how someone can be anti-Shemitic. And you can't be if you come from this bloodline. Period. It's very simple. But Charles Barkley and the rest of the talking head Negroes on TV, they're not going to acknowledge this. They want to talk about, let's say for Kanye talking about the obvious in regards to the people that run the entertainment banking industry. All that's been fact checking, all that's been proven, but nobody wants to talk about it. You can't say that because that's free thought. Can't say the facts. You can't say truth. That's against the law. You can't speak the truth, but look, why Yahushua even say this? And ye shall, John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hello. Do you see why they said Kyrie was a free thinker? Because he started finding the truth. And that, my friends, the Edomite is saying that's against the law. Speaking truth, oh no. You can't be free. We need you in bondage. So there you have it. That's enough of what I'm talking about with Kanye, Kyrie, and all that other stuff, man. Y'all get, there's plenty of Israelites, plenty of brothers and sisters, not even Israelites. I ain't seen the, what do you call them cats, man? The indigenous, Aboriginal cats, they talking about it, and these are the same people talking about we're not Israelites, we're not Hebrews, but at this point they'll stand on. I don't know. You tell me. Some of them, I should say. But anyway, let's get on to the real meat and potatoes, man. Okay, so exclusive. World War III updates, man. Iran is seeking Russia's help to bolster its nuclear program, U.S. intel officials believe. So we see here and know that in what was it, DSTM, I believe, last week, uh, Russia reached out to Iran maybe 2 weeks ago. Iran has been sending drones there. Iran has been helping Russia, with the war. And now you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Iran needs that help with getting their nukes up, getting their nuclear program up. They want nuclear power. They want nuclear weapons. They're going against the sanctions that America has laid down because they've made their decision that they're going to coincide and help Russia. So in turn, they want the technology. They want the weaponry. They want understanding about the power. Smacky, what happened here? I don't know what happened there, but anyway. So just to look at this one more time. So we see here in verse 4 of Ezekiel 38 that the Most High is going to bring Russia essentially into a war. Persia, which is Iran, is going to be part of it, right? And they're going to come with a great company, buckler shields, handling swords. They're going to bring their weapons. They're going to be armoring up, being prepared for battle. Now look at this verse 7. Just getting right to the point. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee. Speaking to Russia, Gog, Magog, right? It's saying they need to be prepared for war and everybody that comes along with them, and be thou a guard unto them, meaning what? They're going to be a guard, meaning a guardian or an overseer or a protector of these other nations. This is why Persia or Iran is seeking out help from Russia, because the scriptures say that they were to be a guard unto them. So a guardian. So here, Iran needs help. Who do they go to? They got to go to God. They got to go to Magog. They want the nuclear power, right? So Iran is seeking Russia's help to bolster its nuclear program. U.S. intelligence officials believe as Tehran looks for a backup plan should a lasting nuclear deal with world powers fail to materialize. I know my screen kind of blanked out. Let me make sure I'm still on. Okay, I'm on. All right. All right, so getting back out here. It says the intelligence suggests that Iran has been asking Russia for help acquiring additional nuclear materials with nuclear fuel fabrication. Sources briefed on the matter said the fuel could help Iran power its nuclear reactors and could potentially further shorten Iran's so-called breakout time to create a nuclear weapon. Right? So there you have it. Iran now is trying to get nuclear capabilities so that they can join in the fray. They've already been helping Russia with the drones and with missiles, so forth and so on. So the allegiance is clear. The world's 5 nuclear powers are this is a quote, on the brink of a direct armed conflict, which will have catastrophic consequences, Russia warned. So Russia is even getting cold feet a little bit. They're saying, hold on, this is really happening. The world's 5 nuclear powers are all talking about utilizing their nuclear weapons. They're all talking about being involved in an armed conflict, including ourselves. So let's just warn everybody in the world, this could go down. The Kremlin said on Wednesday that avoiding a nuclear clash was its first priority. Western capitals have said Moscow is behind a ramping up of nuclear rhetoric. So, Russia's saying we don't want to go there with the nukes, but NATO and the West, man, they just keep pushing the issue. And then the West comes back and says, oh no, all the nuke talk is coming from Russia. This is what happens when you got two damn devils on both sides of the fence, man. Both of them lying. Russia said that it stood by a joint declaration for avoiding a nuclear war. Vladimir Putin has appeared on several occasions to threaten a nuclear strike, right? So here we are. We're seeing about the 3 woes. I think in Revelation 8, they talk about the 3 woes. Revelation 11, talk about the 3rd woe. Woe meaning a destruction happening. We've gone through 2. A 3rd one must happen. And we're talking about ultimate apocalypse judgments on the earth at that point. We've seen and looked at the power of a nuke. They're talking about dirty bombs being utilized. All this stuff is on the table right now. And they're talking about massive destruction. Let's look at the 5 world powers. Who are they talking about? Shit, they out there crucifying this brother, man. They ain't took his Nike money, hit him in his basketball contract. You know, there's not gonna be no more. What's the name of that movie? He played the old man playing basketball. Uh, Uncle somebody. Uh, so they got China, France, Russia, the UK, and the US as the five big boys, right? So all of them are involved, you know, via NATO and just via Russia. All right. So anybody remember that movie? It's stuck in my head. Uncle somebody. Anybody put it in the chat? I don't recall. Uncle somebody. I don't remember. But it is what it is. Whatever. Let's get back over here. All right. Let me see what time is it. All right, I got a little more than an hour. Let's get to it. All right, so Russia's out here warning that the five nuclear superpowers are on the brink of a direct armed conflict. So it's getting closer, man. NATO has been running their own nuclear drills. Russia's been running them. Hell, North Korea is continuing on with their launching. You know, all of the Iran is trying to get in the fray, man. Saudi Arabia and Iran, they're saying that they're having conflicts between each other. There's a lot happening in the world, man. Let's move on. Look at this. North Korea launches 23 missiles, triggering an air raid alarmist in the south. So North Korea is definitely looking for smoke. North Korea launched at least 23 missiles off its east and west coast on Wednesday, one of which flew near South Korean waters and triggered an air raid alert on a populated island where people took cover. It was the first time the North had fired that many missiles in a single day. So they're up in the ante. They're showing that they got missiles to waste. 23. They had the South Koreans ducking for cover. They did it to Japan about a month ago, had the Japanese ducking for cover. All in cahoots with looking at Russia and China saying, y'all got my back, right? Because now you're starting to see, man, all the countries that got beef with each other, man, they're starting to confront each other. You know, Iran and Saudi Arabia, they got issues right now. Ethiopia and they just got to settling civil war matters that they had going on. I think they just came to like a little peace agreement. North and South Korea, China and Taiwan, obviously Russia and Ukraine. I mean, this is all going down. Warfare is in the air. Wars, rumors of wars is definitely in the air, man. South Korea responded by firing missiles from fighter jets into waters near the North's territory. The exchange marked the first time missiles had been launched across the Korea's maritime border. The South's defense ministry said, though all of them fell into international waters. So they out here, you know, it's almost like they're pushing each other. You know, you start a fight, man. You remember you was a kid in each other's face and you pushing each other with your shoulder and walking around in a circle and, man, swing, you swing, no, you swing, you swing, no, you swing. And then you push each other and say, man, forget it. You don't want to fight. And y'all both walk away. Essentially, this is what they doing, but they shoot missiles at each other, directly aiming into water, saying, look, I could have hit you, but I'm just warning you. So North Korea launches 23 missiles near island, shakes up the people ducking for cover. South Korea responds, firing some more missiles, but they shoot them into the water, saying, don't try it. We got missiles too. And guess what? South Korea is going to say, America, help. You know, once we get things cracking, we need your help. You're our ally. You swore to protect us. You swore to be there for us. So America is going to have to get involved in the South Korean conflict, a Chinese conflict with Taiwan, a conflict with Russia and NATO and Ukraine, which they already are involved in. They've got an issue going on over here in Haiti. America is stretched thin. What better way to find themselves completely stretched out, spread thin, and then be subject to an attack because they're occupied with other matters? Think about that. Let's move on. It's already happening. Rubini warns World War III has effectively begun. So here you've got economists, you've got wartime experts, ex-military cats. All of them is coming out saying, man, it's already going down. I showed y'all, we went over the articles about secret um, uh, CIA, sanctioned U.S. troops is already in Ukraine, training Ukrainians, giving weapons over there, actually being involved, hands-on, boots on the ground. After Slow Biden said that there'll be no boots on the ground over there. We're just going to be sending them money and weapons. We're not doing that, and it's already been revealed. They're already over there. The proxy wars have began, already been happening. Now you got this guy, economist Nouriel Roubini, who's been dubbed Dr. Doom for his gloomy yet correct prediction of the 2008 market meltdown, is making headlines again during a series of interviews promoting his book, Mega Threats. We have to worry about everything at the same time. All of these mega threats are interconnected. Exactly. This is why we're going over all of these things and how all these things are connected. We're talking about from the economy to the world wars to the so-called plagues that's out there. Everything is interconnected and leading up to ultimately the destruction of the world as we know it. Ready for the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahushua to take part and the true righteous heirs to the throne be placed according to biblical prophecy. Reading on, it says, when asked if we were there again in reference to the 2008 financial crisis, Rubini replied, yes, we're here again. So everybody, you got to recognize, man, that the Federal Reserve just increased the interest rates again, I think last Wednesday, another 0.75%. So we'll get into it a little bit later. There's a lot of economic things that's going on. People just waiting for a complete just drop, everything just fall out of nowhere. No, it's slowly, it's incremental. You see the changes as things go on. We start seeing the change in the gas prices going up slowly but surely. Your food going up slowly but surely. The missing foods and products missing from the shelves. The things that you used to find or thought they were still selling, they're not selling anymore because they can't manufacture certain things. Certain things are gone out of stock, out of business. Small businesses being shuttered, homelessness rising up. Sometimes we get tunnel vision and we don't recognize it until it's like happening to us, but it's happening all around. Third world countries are completely collapsing and suffering. That's already dealing with famine. It's already dealing with mass plague. It's already dealing with war. Go to Africa, East Central, South America, the Middle East. They're already dealing with complete collapse and jacked up, man. But because we're here in the Americas, the prophesied place of the one of the prophesied places of a mass populace of the children of Israel to be, we're getting sustained. We talk about it historically all the time, man. Everywhere that the children of Israel was at in bondage, those nations were top ranking. Those nations were ruling the world. Look at Egypt, right? Who was prospering? Who was ahead? Egypt. Who they have in bondage? The children of Israel. The Assyrians, they had their run in history. They had the children of Israel, or a portion of the children of Israel, in bondage, but they didn't have us all, so they didn't have complete world domination. You get into Babylon, you get into the Persians and the Medes, you get into the Greeks, you get into the Romans, you get into the Americans. Who's running the world? Everywhere the children of Israel is at, those nations run the world. So America, having the vast majority or a good portion of the scattering of the children of Israel, doesn't see the same type of plagues and destruction that the other nations of the world will, because while the Lord's children are still here, waking up, the mission isn't complete yet. Once we all wake up, then the Most High is going to drop the gauntlet on America, and it's over with. So we get the grace and the mercy, and guess who benefits off of it? America. That's why when the Most High told Abraham that the nation is going to be blessed because of you, hey, that's why. Because our people are sitting back in here struggling and striving, trying to wake up. And the Lord said, I got to preserve that place because my children is, vastly over there. I got to get them to wake up. Once they wake up, then I can go ahead and shut these places down, just as he did in Babylon, Persians and Medes, and so forth and so on. Okay. So this guy is acknowledging, he's saying that the 2008 financial crisis, anybody that was in the housing market, anybody that was selling real estate during that time, you know what that meant for you and yours back then. That was a catastrophic time for many in that time frame, right? But in addition to the economic, monetary, and financial risk, and there are new ones, now we're going towards stagflation like we've never seen since the 70s. See, it says like we've never seen. So the only thing that they can compare it to is the 70s. That's why it's very hard to trust in and look at any of these economists, any of these guys selling stocks and selling the cryptos and all this other stuff, because they're ranking what they're doing off of what they've known historically, what has happened. They always look for cyclical things. But when you keep hearing, we haven't seen this before, this has never happened, this is historical, you have no basis on what to gauge how to react to this thing outside of what happened previously. But if it's never happened, you don't know the outcome. You don't know. So when it's never happened, that's when we look at the Bible and say, oh, well, the Most High said, but this is the time that stuff is really going to hit the fan. Now it says private and public debt levels globally have exploded from 200% of GDP to 2000 to around 350% of GDP today. He said, blaming ultra loose central bank policies that made borrowing cheap and encouraged households, businesses, and countries to take on even greater debt loans, even though many were barely solvent. So they're basically talking about the bank. I mean, the real estate loans, the credit lines, the business loans, all of them other things. Banks was letting stuff out. And then, they talking about how bankruptcies and repossessions and lack of payments on all of these loans that's out there is at all-time highs right now. They gave out money. They printed it up. They trusted people to get out there, or not even trusted. They let people get out there and sink themselves, same way they did in 2008. They was out there approving all of these home loans and all of that, knowing damn well the people didn't have the credit line nor the financial responsibility to take care of these notes. And then these balloon payments popped up, interest rates boosted up, man, and got everybody about them homes. I know people that got hit with that, lost their houses and everything. Back in garages eating off of hot plates. Because at one point, hey, they was balling. Got a house here, house there, and all this other stuff. But when that thing hit, they got wiped out. Wiped out. Let's move on. And they're saying that's going to happen again. And maybe worse. Look at what they're doing. They're mixing up a nice little cocktail. Are y'all happy? You ready? You ready for the new season? Pfizer and biotech are testing a combined potion to give you both, man. Kill two birds with one stone. Why not? The DVOG 91, that was successful, wasn't it? That was successful. Look how great that worked out. I mean, Slow Biden just got like his 5th booster. Wasn't he just plagued with it over the summer? Kept testing positive, coughing and all phlegmy at the mic every time he spoke. Oh, that helped. Oh, now they want to mix both together now. Remember a year or so ago, they said don't do that. They said, oh, take them separate. Don't do that. Now they are bubbling up a new one. As they just got to talking about how Boston University, was it Boston College? Just bubbled up a new strand that kills 80% of the mice it infected. As I just said that, oh, we gotta admit that China, this was lab created. I mean, do we need to talk about that? And here they are talking about, oh, we got a new thing coming for you. Is they out there already, trying to mandate that it becomes part of the immunization cycle for kids? Mandatory? They're not stopping, y'all. They are not stopping. Now, this is what we were talking about with the headlines of the one of the topics. If you remember, like I talked about it earlier, Wednesday's Hebrew Hump Day, about how the FBI basically is in cahoots with social media companies um, with regards to social media access and banning accounts and speech and flagging accounts. If you say something that they don't like, you say something they don't like. What happened to free speech? Huh? Oh, that's not existent anymore. Okay, and look what the program that they're calling it though. Now they just got $27 million to invest in social media and surveillance software, and the software is called Babel X. And you tell me that America is not Babylon? Babel X. Why did they choose Babel of all things? Very interesting. Well, we know why, right? Uh, 11 and we'll read verse 6. Now, we'll look at verse 1. It says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. So let's look at it in the spirit of things, man. The whole world is all utilizing the same things to communicate. We don't have to talk about languages. That's back then. Look at it from today's perspective of how this applies and why Esau said that this new AI software that's used and is going to be utilized to spy and surveil your social media accounts, Babel X or Babel 10. I don't know if it's Roman numeral 10 or X. We're just going to call it X. Babel X. Why? Because the whole earth was of one language and one speech. They're all using the same technology to communicate. That's Babel, right? Now, verse 6, it says, and the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they all have one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them that which they imagine to do. So now these things are being utilized to organize, to unify, to put things into perspective, to create coalitions of groups or whatnot. I'm black identity extremists. We don't want that. Get rid of them. Right? Verse 7 said, let us go down and there confound a language that they might not understand one another's speech. We drop down verse 9. It says, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of the earth. So what did the Most High do? The Most High came in and censored what's being said. Most High cut off communications, groups, coalitions. Back then, people was conspiring to do wickedness, evil, going against the Most High, following after the customs and the ways of the heathens. The Most High seen that as a problem. He said, I'm going to have to cut them off, and I'm going to have to start separating the peoples, and I need to get me a chosen line that I'm going to impart my spirit, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, fear, so forth and so on in. Then we see, who did he go through? Shem, the Shemitic people. Our people. That's why the Most High didn't even deal with the other four sons. He said, let's get right to the point. Shem. Right? But this is the Hebrew word, babal, meaning confusion. And that's what America operates in. So the FBI now has gotten $27 million to invest in Babel X. And what's it made for? Social media. But check this out. If we don't cover anything else today, we're going to cover this. Jokes about the FBI watching your every move through webcams are about to get a little more real. Did you hear that? I suggest you, brothers and sisters, man, start investing in, at bare minimum, taping, putting tape over your cameras on your laptops, putting tape over your phones. That's just bare minimum that you can do, man, to reduce the censorship. Man. Let me share something with y'all real quick. See on my phone? See this thing right here? This is a slide. It's black. It's when I open it up, you can see the little camera there. When I close it, it blocks it. You can buy these off of Amazon. I think I paid maybe like $7, $8 or something like that. The sticker shutters. You open it up, you slide it to the left, it opens up your camera. You slide it to the right, you close it. That way, if you don't like tape, you want your phones looking cute. You know, you sisters like buying your little nice little covers and all of that. That's all cool, but you can buy those things. Like I said, I think I bought mine at Amazon. It wasn't but maybe about I think I spent $7, $8 or something for a pack of them. And they came with a pack of like I want to say at least 15 of them, so you can cover up your cameras. That's just one thing. Throw y'all a little jewel for that, man. I put them on my laptops. I put them on my phones. My family got them. I gave some to a couple brothers. It's very simple. Just because once you could turn off your camera access and all of that, they still turn them on. But at least the thing you could do is block what they trying to see, block what they looking for. They'll turn on your microphones. They got control of all of that stuff, man. You can only control what you can control, but at least try to have some control. That's the point. All right. Reading on says the Bureau just signed a $27 million contract to use Babel X, AI-powered software that trawls social media for specific content. See how you see what I'm saying? This is what the specific content. They got the words that they're looking for. They got the profiles that they're looking for. That's why you can't say anti-Semitic without the watchdog saying, they sniffing out. Who said it? Who said it? They coming. You can't say, anything that goes against the GMO small hats. You can't say anything against, election meddling. Can't say anything against the plague and how they handled it. Don't say anything that goes against the narrative. In other words, free thinkers, we're looking for you. Software that trolls social media for specific content is exactly the kind of surveillance spyware, surveillance software privacy activists are constantly warning the public about. So, people are wondering, where's Big Brother? Yeah, if you looked around on the streets, man, cameras all over the damn place. There's back doors into everything. All the technology got the back doors open. And people wondering, well, when is it going to happen? They're not just going to pull some big old blanket out of nowhere, man, and throw it over everybody's head and say, look, this is it. They slowly increment these things, man, and try to slide things under. See, this is what I'm saying. While we're all concerned and talking about boycotting Nike and boycotting Adidas and, let's jump to Kanye. Those two brothers, man, are being utilized as tools for us to learn and say, we're next. They're the template that they're going to utilize to say, these guys are dangerous. Look what they did to our celebrities. Look at what they did to our heads of basketball teams and star athletes. They infected their minds. The word is spreading. We need to get to the root of where they're getting this stuff. Now, what is Kanye saying? Oh, anti-Semitic. He's saying the Jews run everything. He's saying this. He's saying that. Okay, what are those guys saying on the corners and on YouTube channels and on Instagram? Oh, they're saying the same things. Okay, cut off the head of the snake, those guys on the streets. How are we going to do that, sir? Look, we got Babel X. Those guys say the most wildest stuff. Keyword all of that. And then we're going to have to start shutting down speech. So once you shut that down, we get out on the streets. Then the next level is it's going to be illegal to say this stuff publicly. You said that's impossible. What do you think Paul was doing before his conversion, before he was anointed by Yahweh Shai on the road to Damascus and told him what his mission was? Persecuting the church. Persecuting the church. Going out there, locking up and even witnessing murders of brothers and sisters that was out there professing Yahweh Shai. I don't have time to go into Acts. If y'all go back and check the lesson I did about the truth between Paul and Agrippa, about Acts 26, I believe. I covered a lot of that in that. So go back and check that one out. But that can come right back, and not even can, will come back around. We seen in the times of the Greeks, the second Ezra 6. We covered that the other day. It would be illegal to even profess to be a Jew. That's the next level. Right now, the biggest mouth that we have is through social media. See, once Israel caught on to the social media, this thing blew up. Prior to like 2008 or so, I mean, Israel was still grassroots. We have, brothers had some camps had websites. I think MySpace was like a little networking spot brothers was trying to utilize at one point. But prior to that, I mean, and really the real, if brothers and sisters are of age and y'all remember, in the early 2000s, you had Black Planet. Black Planet was really like the first social media that I recall. That was pre-Facebook, pre-Instagram, pre-MySpace, all of that. Jakes came up with social media. Black Planet. Black Planet was being utilized to try to promote the truth, but and that was really small because there wasn't that many enough woke to create a whole avenue of controlling the narrative through social media. That was drowned out by people in the world. So that really wasn't effective. But once YouTube came around and Daily Motion and all of that, around 2007, 6, or 8, I should say, really 8, is when things really start booming and really picking up. 8, and then maybe around like 12, or maybe 10, and then just continue growing from there. So now they're seeing, they didn't, like I said, they done figured out how to work these algorithms. They done learn how to read. They out here, editing software, creating movies and films and documentaries and whole nine. So the best thing that they can do is shut off all access to any of those things. That's what they're going to do. So let me finish reading. The contract, which includes 5,000 licenses for Babel X, began on March 30th. The Washington Post reports about $5 million of the FBI's contracts will be paid out during the first year of the contract. And lo and behold, I mean, how credible have we seen the FBI be in recent times? They was already busted controlling the narrative regarding the Hunter Biden laptop. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said it. He said, "Yeah, man, the FBI came and told me, man, this is Russian propaganda. You might want to, censor anybody that's talking about this. Hint, hint." And they rolled on it. And then the head of the FBI that admitted to it, he resigned. But because they just went out there and said, we want all social media platforms to ban any of this information and tell everybody that this is Russian propaganda with no proof, no facts, no nothing. Just say it, and you'll be serving your country. And what do? They bow down and do it. I believe the origins of Google, they got CIA funding. Don't quote me on it, but I did read that somewhere. That the startup Google, they received government funds. So don't think that they won't have a part in their investment. Now it says, though Babel X isn't by any means new to the Department of Justice toolkit, these 5,000 licenses are a significant increase in its investment in such social media surveillance. Another movie to watch is that movie Snowden. If y'all haven't seen Snowden, watch Snowden. And he talks about there's a whole system of technology called PRISM. And it's a conglomerate of, I think it's 5 of the social medias and emails and all of that the government all has locked in and surveilled. PRISM. I really don't have time to see it, but I'm going to see if I can look into it. Let me see. Yeah, see, this is it right here. So y'all can look at this at your own time, man. He did interviews talking about it. PRISM, Snowden and the government surveillance. So like I said, this ain't new. This ain't new. This stuff they've been doing. You see here, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, they're all interconnected, right? So Snowden exposed this a long time ago, but they're still investing. They're still, getting at the information. Let me carry on because I only got maybe about 30 more minutes. Let's go. So it's saying that, but this isn't new. These are 5,000 licenses, are a significant increase in its investment in such social media surveillance. So they got access to 5,000 licenses of social media that they now have access to. Keeping a close eye on general social media activity has become a priority for the DOJ, for both the DOJ, that's the Department of Justice, and the federal government, writ large, ever since the January 6th Capitol riot, which was fueled in no small part by organizing on social media. So now they're going to be concerned about who, what, when, and organizings are happening. They want to monitor everything. So, if there's a Israelite rally, man, our brothers do them unity camps, going to the state capitol and all of that on 4th of July and stuff like that. Oh, they're going to be investigating that. They could be putting in some agents and some subplants in there, that agent provocateurs to stir up the pot and trying to set brothers up. Who knows? Brothers just got to be careful. But they are in there. They're monitoring and they're doing what they can. Let's move on. Oh, look how ironic this is, man. A few days before the election primaries, Biden all of a sudden found some money to bring down energy costs. Not that people have been crying and whining for the last year. Oh, just so happens you found $13 billion out your ass. Let me be clear. It's not Friday Night Lights, man. Out your butt cheeks, man. You don't found that all of a sudden to announce to everybody that you're going to lower energy costs. See, the problem with Slow Biden is that he says stuff and then doesn't do it. I think I got an article later on. We're talking about where they talked about that he lied in regards to the student loan forgiveness. He said that it was approved by Congress and it hasn't been. That's why nobody's got them checks yet. That's why that student loan debt money hasn't came through. He said that in hopes to get your votes next week. Selling more hope. Yeah, you're going to get 10,000 and 25, and don't worry. Loan forgiveness is on the way. Vote blue. Biden announced a $13 billion package to bring energy costs down for low and moderate income families to help with winter bills. Critics call plan an election gimmick with just 6 days until the midterm elections. Yeah, you think? Steps are expected to today be announced by Vice President Kamala Harris. Where's she been at? Anyway, White House said $4.5 billion expected from Department of Health and Human Services will help cut heating costs under the Low Income Energy Assistance Program. There's also due to be a $9 billion allocated under the Inflation Reduction Act. Winter electric and heating bills are set to surge this year amid historic inflation. Critics called the move an election year gimmick and said Biden administration should be focused on developing U.S. energy. There you go. But that's how it works. They ain't worried about how to, stop the problem. They just want to make sure that they've got welfare recipients, people that want to continually suck on the tit of the great whore. Handouts, dependency. That means that once you're locked into the system, you're going to accept everything else that comes along with it, including your ability to buy and sell and everything else, if you know what I mean. So all of those things come along with, the acceptance of the beast, man. So they're saying, look, he's going to give some free energy money handouts as opposed to creating more energy so that it naturally costs less. See, not going to reduce the price, not going to stop the problem. Let's just create more dependency. Let's move on. Critical. Haiti gas terminal freed after weeks of talks with the G9 gang leader. Haiti's been going through hell over there. They've been having a lot of issues in regards to overthrow of the country. There's a gang over there that they're trying to liberate, what they would consider liberating the country from outside influences and puppet leaders and so forth and so on. They've been holding the fuel stations hostage for weeks now. The police just broke one of the just got through to get get to one of the main gas lines so that people can actually function again. But I'm gonna play this video in a second, and we'll see how the people are really feeling as opposed to what the American media is saying. So it says Haitian authorities say that they have regained control of the main gas terminal in the capital city of Port-au-Prince, ending a gang stranglehold on the vital energy facility. The news follows 2 weeks of negotiation with Haitian gang leader Jimmy Surviellance to relinquish control of the Varro terminal, according to the Haitian politician Dr. Harrison Ernest, who met with both Chezier and the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Chezier, also known as Barbecue, is the leader of G9, a federation of over a dozen Haitian gangs based in Port-au-Prince. I talked to Barbecue and told them to leave the terminal because the kids need to go back to school, and we urge the government to do their part to make sure there is fuel, and the fuel need to reach the consumer. Now, look at this.
Nexus here in Haiti. So at the airport, about I think a week ago, American supply airplanes landed and have.
This from the YouTube channel called Redacted, so I give them their credit. They be having some good little reports going on. But this guy's on the scene and he's reporting in Haiti regarding to the uprisings and things that's going on over there. They're completely collapsed as far as energy is concerned, inflation, food, resources, everything, man. Haiti's in a lot of trouble over there, right? So he's talking about how America, Russian, they got Russian gas trucks over there, America scrambling jets over there, trying to intercept and stop it because they want to be the saviors. And he's witnessing this. So let me play this.
Can supply airplanes landed and have been bringing fuel to the American embassy. Also, the U.S. delivered armored vehicles, and Canada delivered armored vehicles to the Haitian National Police, which is what allowed them to basically break through the FRG9's blockade and take it over. And at the same time, just out in the bay to my right now, there is a fuel tanker at a port just a little bit south, about 1.5 miles south of the Varro terminal, that is a Russian boat that came from Venezuela. So it's very clear that Venezuela and Russia are supplying fuel to keep Haiti going, while the U.S. is, wants to use military intervention to achieve its goals. So it's kind of total opposite approaches here.
You hear that? Now he said Venezuela and Russia is trying to help supply them with the fuel and the energy that they need. America's going in trying to start war. But then we just read that earlier about you trying to be at peace with them who's always always wants war. Then we just talk about America only knows 15 to 17 years of peace. The only way they know how to react is through bloodshed, man, warfare, destruction, mayhem, right? He says 2 different approaches, man. Venezuela's trying to help him, give him gas and power. America's saying give him tanks and weapons and say turn up.
You also took to the streets and spoke to the people. Can you tell us about that?
Well, yeah, I managed to get out and just talk to people on the street about what they think about this apparently imminent U.S. intervention. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Now, you see that America's trying to come in there to colonize Haiti. They want to take over Haiti too. That's a whole nother operation that they're dealing with. And he said he went on the streets to go talk to the people of Haiti and see how they feel about it. You see, he said, today we young people say no to the American occupation.
Nous-mêmes en tant que jeunes, nous avons dit non avec l'occupation américaine. Blanc, pas de droit, puis les sols là. Les yo vini la kay nous, yo vini exploiter toute richesse nous yo.
You see that? He said, when they come over here, they come to exploit all our riches. He said, the foreigners don't have the right to trample our soil. So our Haitian brothers and sisters over there, man, they know the game. They know how America operates. They don't want to deal with this madness. They know when Esau come over, man, he's coming over to take over. He wants to control. He wants to put everybody in oppressive situations and conditions. And they tired of it. Remember, these are one of the first brothers and sisters, and mainly the brothers, man, to rebel and fight against the damn French and the Edomites. So the spirit of rebellion is already in them.
Sol là. Les yo vini la kay nous, yo vini exploiter toute richesse nous yo. Par exemple, l'or nous yo, uranium nous yo, pétrole nous yo, bauxite nous yo, que yo te mini ça, que yo te mini ya, que yo te mini jeep. Yo fait nabi. Après ça, yo détruit production nationale là. Yo quitté maladie. Amérique c'est
He said they leave behind diseases. Yeah, what happened in 2000? What was it? 2010 when they had that earthquake. They left cholera. The UN, the UN workers was down there raping the women. That's why he said every time the Americans come into this country, they leave more fatherless children. They going over there, man, raping the women, impregnating them, leaving them behind. They still have fresh memories of this. This is the stuff that America's saying, shh, don't talk about that, man. Oh, those are the gangsters over there in Haiti. That's the gang. Those guys are thugs. Sounds like they're talking rational to me.
Pote nan peyi nou an, Amerike la gen plis si moun sans papa. Maman Amerike ap di ki kolera, se yo mim ka pot kolera pou nou an ba.
Nigga, sister's turned up, man. She passionate. They call that crazy, though. The American government brought us cholera while we were already living in garbage and filth. Remember that? The UN workers, they brought down cholera, man. They had over 100,000 people got infected with that when they went down there supposedly doing, charitable work under the Red Cross and the UN initiatives to help them after the earthquake. And they went down there, man, laying up, raping the damn women, gave them diseases. I mean, ask the Native Americans how that worked out. Do they have a history of doing the same thing? Smallpox, whooping cough, raping the women, killing our people. They still doing the same thing, and they acting as if it's a new day.
Ça fait 3 fois. 3 occupations nous prend, pays a pas jamais offert nous rien.
Yo te nan pays ya, yo touye Jovenel.
Si Amérique pas compris dans complexe assassination de Moïse.
See, they talking about the assassination of the former president, and now they got this new president who's a puppet that America done put in there. That's why I said, man, they occupied us 3 times, and we ain't benefited and seen nothing from it. Haiti has got no better. So what good is that? What good is them coming over here outside of them raping the resources, raping the women, and leaving us destitute? We don't want that no more. Get up out of here. Now the other guy said they assassinated the former president. Now he says if the Americans weren't complicit in the assassination of Jovenel Moïse, what's he saying?
Faut Amérique est entré en Haïti pour venir arrêter nous qui ont été criminels.
L'Occident même, c'est un malheur pour Haïti. Ta même.
Did you see what he said? So like, I don't want to keep stopping it because I know I'm talking about I'm on the time schedule, but I just can't help. The dude said the West is a curse for Haiti.
Pour venir arrêter nous qui ont été criminels.
L'Occident.
Look, the West is a curse for Haiti, and here's why. Now he's not going to quote the scriptures, but that's what he should be doing. If he understood what he was saying, that the West, America has carried out the curses of Deuteronomy 28, then he would bring it all home. But he understands the spirit, though.
Même c'est un malheur pour Haïti. Ta même. Et projet bourgeois prostitution qui tire l'État. Je là nous pas gon l'État haïtien parce que l'État nous gagne là, son l'État anti-peuple. Son l'État qui pas travailler au profit peuple haïtien, son l'État qui travaille pour Occident, qui travaille pour les États-Unis.
Nous dit, je dis là, maintenant de chaque population commencer à acheter manchette nous, commencer à acheter poudre parce que nous allons battre en face américain. Avant américain, avant ambassade Canada.
Fuck you, America.
Dan, did that surprise you? I mean,
wow. You see our people, man. Our people's fed up, man. Our people's fed up. They said, man, F America, Canada, France. Oh boy said, man, get your machetes and gunpowder. We're going to war with the Americans, man. They come on the soil again. So keep your eye on Haiti. U.S. is running out of common children's antibiotic, amoxicillin, forcing parents to shop around multiple pharmacies. For those who do abide by, or you got ill, sore throat, whatever. A lot of times the doctors will prescribe antibiotics. Some of us are more holistic in our approaches, utilizing the herbs and stuff like that, and try to stay away from the medicines as much as possible. Sometimes you can't help it, but you have to get certain medicines. It is what it is. Sirach 38 tells us how to deal with them situations with the physician and the herbs and all of those things. Read that chapter, you get to understand how to balance some things out. The bigger issue of understanding is that this is a very popular antibiotic that many kids need or utilize when they come up with various illnesses, and there's a shortage now. So in healing of disease or sicknesses or whatnot, the cures are now coming up short. So it's only going to show you how the Most High is cutting off, the healings. So even I think it's in Jeremiah said that there's not going to be any healing balms available. Let me see. I remember that in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 8. It says, is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? So it's just talking about how the healing of Israel wasn't recovered. But here in Babylon, there was no healing available through Babylon, right? We had to go through the Most High. But here we're seeing here, verse Jeremiah 46:11 says, go up into Gilead and take balm, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. So it's only showing you how the plague of the Most High is not going to be stopped, and it's not going to be available cures in times of old or in the future. How about that? Okay, let's move on. So this is something of importance to see, that a common children's antibiotic is now making parents run around looking for healings. Excuse me. So 4 drug makers behind nearly the entire country supply are facing a shortage. The liquid form of the medications is in short supply. They said officials were made aware last month when patients struggled to fill prescriptions. Now check this out. And we covered this last weekend. Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul. Remember, everybody knows by now. Somebody broke in. Some immigrant or illegal immigrant. No, they don't. They don't put a lot of. They love to slap that on our people. But this guy was supposedly an illegal immigrant from Canada. Broke into the house, hit Paul Pelosi upside the head. They've already got the new quote, "Where's Nancy?" You know how that goes. They create a whole new mantra. Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? That's going. You heard politicians speaking out about this. Slow Biden did it. What's the little speaker? I think she's the secretary, the speaker of the House. The Haitian sister that gets on my nerves with that wild wig on. She's quoting it. I think Hillary Clinton. All of them need that mantra to remind people when you go to the polls. Remember, these crazy right-wing Edomites, the MAGA maniacs. Where's Nancy? Remember that when you go vote. So supposedly, the guy broke in the house, hit Paul Pelosi upside the head, and hit him in the kneecaps, screaming, "Where's Nancy?" And I said, when it happened, I said, well, ironic timing, because the only 2 points that the Democrats are making right now is abortion and January 6th to try to uphold, their seat in the House, when this upcoming vote comes. So what do they need to do? They need to remind everybody of the vicious and the vile nature that's in the Edomite people. You want another January 6th? Want more violence? Look what they did. They done broke into the senator's house. I mean, what happened to the alarms? What happened to the security? What happened to, surveillance and all that other stuff? You're talking about a high official in government. All of those things failed. Nobody caught nothing at the time. Very interesting. But obviously, it was going to be used as cannon fodder for the elections. But here they go. But check this out. And this is only going to show proof that it was very interesting how all these things played out. NBC News mysteriously pulls its exclusive report on how Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, 82, calmly opened the door to cops in his underpants and then walked towards the hammer intruder who bludgeoned him. So NBC had a report that said that Paul Pelosi, according to their reporting and their research and their investigation and their interviewing of police and others, well, what happened? We went to the door, and the cat came to the door in his drawers. Calm, didn't seem to be erratic, and then he walked back to the guy that hit him upside the head. That's when we went in and made the investigation. Now NBC all of a sudden pulls that report and says, "Oh, that's not available anymore. Take that off." Who made the call and said, "Man, get rid of that. We don't need that out there like that, man. Don't tell the truth. That's free thought." The NBC News report cited sources close to the investigation and was published on Friday morning, but was pulled down by the afternoon. The report claimed that Paul Pelosi did not declare an emergency or try to leave his San Francisco home when cops responded to the 911 call last week. So, who knows if they knew this guy? Some people are saying he may have known him. Clearly, if this was a true report, it says he didn't say it was an emergency. He didn't try to run out the house when the 911 call went down. They talked about, let's finish this. It claimed that Pelosi took several steps away from the police and back into the foyer where he was attacked by David DePape with a hammer. The NBC source also claimed that it was unclear if Pelosi was already injured or what his mental state was when he took steps back into the home. The report differed from the court documents filed earlier this week based on the San Francisco Police Department report. So somebody's lying, either the police or NBC, but NBC clearly pulled their report because they said, hey, it wasn't as bad as everybody's saying, man. Paul Pelosi was acting funny. We know that Paul Pelosi loves a little yan, which is wine in Hebrew. Loves a little drink. You dig what I'm saying? Who knows? But clearly, they're using this for publicity for these elections. Looking at this economy, man, the Bank of England expects the UK to fall into its longest ever recession. They're talking about this is going into 2025. So for the next couple of years, man, they're going to be dealing with harsh inflation rates, food prices, power, energy prices. Really is going to collapse a lot of the industry in the UK. And guess who's offspring of the UK? America. You know, the rest of the world is already dealing with this madness. And people say, oh, that's not going to happen here. It's already happening. That's what and I'm not talking about brothers and sisters that's on this chat and in this watching this channel. It's people in the world. There's people all around that's talking about that ain't going to happen here. It's already happening. People don't even see it. The Bank of England has warned that the UK is facing its longest recession since records began, as interest rates by the most in 33 years. You see, that's what I'm saying. When you're dealing with historical marks, there's nothing that you can kind of figure out to counter it. That's why the damn Federal Reserve just keeps raising the interest rates because they're saying it's got to stop sometime. We got to slow it down some way. This got to work, doesn't it? Maybe not. It warned the UK will face a, quote, very challenging 2-year slump with unemployment nearly doubling by 2025. So they expect a doubling of job loss, an increase of cost of living in all manners. How's that going to turn out for the people? Let's move on. Hedge fund giant Elliott warns looming hyperinflation could lead to a global societal collapse. So This is another part of the warfare. That's why the other guy, I forgot the guy's name, Melania, or whatever his name was, the economist that said that World War III was already here. He said all of these things are interconnected. We're talking about the complete societal collapse, whether it's by war, whether it's by famine, whether it's by economic collapse, whether it's by disease. Everything is on the table. Everything is on the table right now. The seals have been opened, right? That's executives, leading hedge fund firm Elliott Management Group warning that the world is heading toward the worst financial crisis since World War II. So if we're dating it back to another critical event, World War II, well, what would that mean that is going to start in this scenario, World War III? All the historical landmarks line up to where we're headed towards the same situation, only this is the last. In a letter sent to investors and reportedly seen by the Financial Times, the Florida headquartered firm told clients that it believes the global economy is in a, quote, extremely challenging situation that could lead into hyperinflation. Look up those terms if you're not familiar with hyperinflation, stagflation, inflation. Look at all those words and kind of see what that means for society, you and me. Then it will help you understand a little bit better if you don't know already. The recent Federal Reserve rate hikes that just happened, I think, last Wednesday. This is what it means for you and me. It says, this is what the Fed's interest rate hike means for you. Average mortgage payments will spike more than $200. That means that the interest rates on your mortgage loans, that's going up. So if you was paying $2,200, that's just an example. I mean, you can't get a damn 2-bedroom apartment in LA for $2,200 right now. Let New York, you please. You might as well be out in the streets, in the tent. You can probably find something decent in Texas or Atlanta, maybe. Everywhere is going up. You'll probably be, better suited in some small town in, Arkansas or something like that. Yeah, you'll be good there for now. But let's just say you're at $2,200 for your mortgage. It's going to go up $200. So you're going to pay $2,400 now because the interest rate on your loan is now going up. Buying a car or carrying a credit card balance will also hit you in the pocket. Why? Because the interest rates are going up. I think they said the average cost of a used car at a dealership now is over $40,000. I mean, a couple years ago, that was a new car. A 2021, 2020, that was new car prices. Now that's only going to get you a used car, maybe a 2018, 2015. You dig what I'm saying? That's what this means. Moving forward, I think we covered what the average cost of a new car note is. It's between $800 and $900. Let alone add on the insurance. Used cars is over $500, almost $600 a month. Those are the good old days where that was how much you was paying for a new car. That's out of here. Your credit card balances, you notice them things is going up. The interest rates is going up. Lord knows the children of Israel ain't got the best credit. We're getting these high interest rate credit cards that's already paying 20% interest on your dollar. Now it's up to 28. You understand? So this is what, for every $100 you're paying, they taking out $20 or $28. That's just going towards interest. But your principal payment, they're saying you got to pay $115 a month. And you say, okay, well, I put $100 down. That should bring down my balance. No, you just barely paid a fraction of the interest. You didn't even meet the minimum payment yet. That's how they working this thing, man. Debt slaves completely collapsing everybody. But savings accounts could offer returns to 2.4%. The Federal Reserve pushed interest rates up by another 0.75 percentage points on Wednesday, the fourth consecutive time this year, after America enjoyed rates of nearly 0% throughout the pandemic. The rate hike is expected to cause interest rates on mortgages, credit cards, and all types of loans to go up. So you notice, hopefully everybody understands, when you got these particular loans out, they don't just stay how they are. The interest rates will cause those payments to increase, is what we're witnessing right now, causing monthly bill payments to soar and hurting Americans' ability to repay their debts. So that's how you're going to see people are going to default on their loans. The cars are going to get repossessed if they're not already. Foreclosures on homes is going to go up if they're not already. Let alone we're talking about bankruptcies going up if they're not already, because people are in debt with credit cards. I mean, God forbid you got a wife that's got multiple credit cards because she can't stop shopping. That you're over with. Oh, I got the Macy's card. I got the 3 credit cards. I got Visa, MasterCard, and I got a Amazon card, credit card. I got Burlington Coat Factory. Oh no, I just couldn't resist to get the credit card for. I got you one for your favorite what is it? Lowe's and Home Depot. I got you one too. You dig what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, man, everything is out of whack. And you say, I can't afford it, man. I got to file bankruptcy. That's going good. That's definitely going down. Now it says, while interest rates on savings will also see a small increase as high as 2.4%, it would do little to relieve customers amid the rising cost of living, which remains high at 8.2%. The Fed is projected to implement another hike in December to reach a benchmark of 4.6%. So you got some in the mortgage market are saying that this is going to go up to 10% or greater by before the end of the year or early next year. Most people are saying that's impossible. That's crazy. There's no way that can happen. But if you look at the history of the interest rates, it already happened for damn near like 15 years straight in the 80s and 90s. Straight, you're talking like 12%, 10%. They act as if that's never happened before. It has and probably will. For anybody with mortgages, man, that's crucial. Crucial. But let's move on. British pound slides at the Bank of England of their recession warning. So the value of the pound is dropping. We've seen what happened, what they're talking about. They expect this to last at least 2 years, at least. But what better way to collapse everything so they can build back better with the great reset of a new economic system, all based upon digital currencies. And you know what that leads to. Homelessness has risen 70% in California's capital. That's Sacramento. 70% increase in homelessness inside the staggering emergency. So, when we talk about tent cities and all of that, if you're not in California, you don't know what's happening. This is real, man. You can't drive nowhere in the city and not see a tent somewhere or somebody homeless out there on the streets, man. 70% increase in Sacramento. And you said, you talk about collapsing. Okay. We see it here. And it's only getting worse. Look at this. But you know how Israel is. Freeloaders. LA's homeless infuriate locals by boasting about hooking up washing machines to street power lines and setting up huge 10-man tents on sidewalks, complete with flower beds. I wish I should have took a couple, screenshots of the pictures of the article, man. It's one brother, man. He built a wooden house out on the streets, man, complete on some damn rollers. He had a little garden out in the front. They went to try to interview him. He said no. They called the police. The police said, look, we can't do nothing, man. He's not blocking the sidewalk. It is what it is. People are frustrated in regards to it. I seen a picture of this other little homeless encampment. They had a little garden out in front of their tent and all of that, and they had a washing machine next to it, and the thing was running. They hooked it up to a power line. I mean, Israel's gonna find one way or the other, man. That's why the Lord said we're supplanters, man. We make something out of nothing. So now you see what they out there doing, man. 10-man tents on the sidewalks, got flowers out, man. These people ain't going nowhere. Sagging tents, rusting RVs, and makeshift structures have become. And now that I'm looking too, I'm noticing more RVs out on the streets, parked. out on the street. I didn't notice it until I'm consciously looking. I'm seeing more RVs parked at parks, on the streets. You know, once people find a spot to park, they pull up and stay there until it's time for ticketing. Then they move for a little bit, go pull back over on the street. I mean, people is really out there living. Sagging tents, you resting RVs and makeshift structures that become common from Hollywood to Venice Beach and even in the shadow of City Hall. So, you know, for time's sake, man, y'all can see what's going on here, man. I got about 10 more minutes and I got a few more slides to go. Biden implores voter safety. Voters to save democracy from lies and violence. Now, Slow Biden did his little speech about the upcoming elections. He's talking about the state of democracy is on the line, and it might be over with if you don't do anything, and we gotta vote, and the ultra magas is gonna come take over, and if you don't vote for them, they're gonna commit violence and they're gonna come kill you. In lesser terms, right? He said you gotta look at it. Warning that democracy itself is in peril. President Slow Biden called on Americans Wednesday night to use their ballots in next week's midterm election to stand up against lies, violence, and dangerous ultra-MAGA elections. Disruptors who are trying to succeed where they failed in subverting the 2020 elections. So they said that they try to subvert the 2020 elections. You know, they try to steal it. I think it's the other way around, but who am I? I'm just a messenger. Anyway. So Slow Biden is saying that there's lies out there, violence is being called upon by the Republicans and all of that, right? You know, here goes another more Edomite propaganda and lies. Look, they pull out Obama. You know, he's the ace card. Obama's been out of politics since 2016, but they still manage to make sure that he gets paid to get out on the campaign trail to secure the Democratic vote, man. He's the ace card, man. Everybody still loves Obama. They wish he was still president. They pulled him out, man, so Obama can go out there and tap dance and go out there and put on the show for everybody to get Slow Biden's back, because he knows Slow Biden is losing every damn thing. So he said, man, move to the side, Joe. I got it from here. So Obama's been going on the tour, speaking up too. Obama, more people are going to get hurt amid demonizing in politics. So they're the ones threatening that violence is going to happen. They're the ones threatening people's going to get hurt. They're going to get attacked. They're going to get... Okay, you see all that, right? Look at this. This is a compilation of these Democrats talking during elections. I'm going to play a little bit of this. Watch this.
Such, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Oh, there's a threat. Senator Chucky Schumer. He's out there threatening his political opponent. Let's move on. Democrat. There they go.
You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions.
Kamala Harris seemingly praising this summer's chaos. This is her in her own words. You decide.
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not, and we should not.
Now, 2 weeks before those comments, a violent horde of far-left rioters, they breached the walls around the White House. Did Senator Harris call this an insurrection? Of course not. The president and his family, they had to be rushed to a secure bunker. It took the Secret Service several painstaking hours to push back the perimeter and prevent the rioters from storming the White House. Any Democrats, members of the media mob, strongly condemn what happened? No, not really. That's because the left only sees violence when it's politically advantageous.
Press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish. They asked me, would I like to debate this gentleman? And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Oh, look at Tough Joe, man. Look at Slow Biden, man. Oh, look at the Democrats, huh? Who's calling for violence again?
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
You see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant?
Look at Auntie Maxine. Auntie Maxine out there turned up. She said, you see anybody in a restaurant?
In a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd.
You get out and you create a crowd.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
When they go low, we kick them.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
When you're in the arena, you got to be ready to take a punch. You got to be ready to throw a punch.
Look at it. Good Lord. I mean, can you take these people serious at all? Or can we? They're saying that's what the Republicans are saying on this, right? That's what they're saying, I guess. You know, I mean, hold on, I don't think it's 60. So 64. Look at this. Psalm 64 and 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. This is what our people need to do, man. Get away from the politics, man. Get away from the folly. Get away from the lies. Get away from the foolishness. Because here you see, they're out here being hypocrites. Their own tongue is telling on themselves, if you go out there, there's going to be more violence. They're going to come get you. People are going to get hurt. The MAGA maniacs is going to get you. And meanwhile, they've been the ones doing all of this. I mean, they both were participating in the same thing. But the Democrats, you know, are out there selling strong dope into making it seem as if their hands is clean. They don't do that. They play nice. Dirty politics is everywhere, man. They are ridiculous. That's all I'm going to play about that video, man. It's about 7 minutes, but you get the point. Look, Biden falsely claimed student debt forgiveness program was approved by Congress. So he's talking about what? Biden implores voters to save democracy from lies. Well, who's lying? Biden falsely claimed student debt forgiveness program was approved by Congress. Clearly, it hasn't been because ain't nobody got them checks yet. That's still on hold. So he lied and said it was fully approved. Congress agreed. We're pushing forward. Don't worry about you guys that got that student debt, man. Make sure you vote blue. Yeah, but he lied. This is the devil for you, man. Look at this. Thai transgender activist buys Miss Universe organization for $20 million. See how everything's got completely inverted and flipped? Miss Universe now is owned by a Thai transgender activist. So no longer is Miss Universe about women anymore. The transformer community has now taken it over. They are going to stipulate and dictate how this thing is ran. Al-Adad, you my witness. How long ago did I say that the trannies was going to take over? Man? They was coming for blood. They wanted it all. 10 years ago? There you have it, man. A Thai transgender activist is buying Miss Universe. So now they're in control of what it is to be a woman. Beauty and all. Moving on. Look at this. Historic history, man. Y'all can take down this headline. Go get the article. It's an AP article, I believe. You can go out there, make sure you seal it for those brothers out there, man, that are debating or dealing with, or people who are dealing with Islam. Christian monastery, possibly predating Islam, found in the United Arab Emirates. So Christianity was there in Arabia. Our people was following after the Bible way before they was following after Christianity. I mean, following after Islam. So which came first? Huh? How do we know that? One quick precept in Acts chapter 2, reading verse 11. What were they doing? And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. The feast of Pentecost was being kept in the New Testament. Okay. We've seen that the Holy Spirit came upon them. What did it say in verse 5? And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Every nation, including who? Verse 11, the Cretes and who? The Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues, the wonderful works of the Most High. So here you see the scattered Jews were living in Arabia, had a church set up, and they was teaching the Bible in Arabia. Now they found archaeological proof that an early church monastery was found that predates Islam. So our people was not following no damn Islam. They was following after the Bible. Period. Okay. So if you want to take this, get the headline: Christian monastery possibly predating Islam found in the UAE. Put that in your Google search. You'll find the article, save it, utilize it, build upon that history with archaeology so that you can make sure that you're standing firm when dealing with our people who are following after this Arab man's religion. All praises, man. All praises, honor and glory to the Most High, White Habashai, man. Yeah, see, there's my witness right there. Well over the 10 years. I'm getting spammed like crazy, man. Salaki, y'all. I didn't even realize these damn bots was in here dropping in this damn foolishness, man. I'm so locked in and trying to get this information out. Okay, looks like they're out of here now. Okay. All right, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White Habashai, man. I got to run, man. It's been fun. I pray that everybody has a blessed Sabbath to continue the rest of your day. I'll be back live again around 4 o'clock to have our closing Sabbath class. Y'all are all welcome. You know the door is open. Just make sure you wipe your feet, man. In closing, also, man, if you haven't ordered yet, man, go get my brother's book, man. The Mind Well Instructed, Rhyme Israel. Powerful book, man, for those that are seeking understanding. Multiple topics are being discussed in here: precepts, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. All in here. Very good book, man. I highly recommend brothers and sisters get out there. Pre-orders are available now on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and all that. Where's my other brother's book, man? Always promote my other brother's book too, Unadulterated Evil by IQAhmath or Ralph Russell, R.J. Russell. You can go find these books on the same platforms, Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, other platforms to get that, man. Go support the truth, man. Support your learning, support your understanding, man. And support your brothers and sisters. Don't do it today. It's a Sabbath, brothers and sisters. Y'all know what time it is, man. Other than that, y'all be well. Take care. I'll see y'all in a couple of hours, Most High permit. Outside of that, man, always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't shoot your messenger. Shalom.